Production for Panther Sports Talk is brought to you in part by Johnson's Automotive Service is a proud supporter of Panther Sports on WEIU. Johnson's is a complete car facility for all your automotive repair and maintenance needs. Johnson's Automotive Service, keeping your life running.
Welcome to another edition of Panther Sports Talk right here on WIU. I'm your host, Rich Moser. We'll start off this week's program with EIU Baseball coach Jim Schmitz. And Coach, you guys finally got to play at home, so we'll talk about that being the good news. You guys actually finished up a 7-game homestand, and you guys picked up 2 out of 3 against IPFW a week ago when we talked. Came back and rallied and beat a pretty good St. Louis team, and then had some momentum going into the weekend series against Jacksonville State. And the series kind of went back and forth, but unfortunately you guys were on the downside of a couple of those games.
Yeah, I mean, it was great to be back, great to play at home. IPFW, obviously 2 out of 3, we thought we had momentum. And then SLU's a really good team. They've been to the regional the last 2 years, had a 6-1 lead, I believe, against us. And offensively, we swung the bats well and got back in. Bullpen was good, shut the door. So felt good with Jacksonville State coming in on Friday. You know, we just, at this particular point, are really doing a number of things, both pitching and defense. I think that's really making it more difficult for us to win. You know, we'll go through a few innings of good pitching, and then the defense really sputters, and then we'll lead off walk. And all those things as a coach, you know, you have downtimes in the season, and this was one where we just did not play well. I thought we had a real chance to win 2 out of 3 games. Saturday and Sunday, you score 15 runs with Matt Bournes on the mound. You know, even though it was windy, you think you would win. But, you know, Jacksonville State is number 1 in the league right now, and for a reason. They've done some little things to win games.
Now, you guys have, kind of as a baseball coach, I guess things change year to year, and you guys came in and you really thought pitching was going to be one of your strong suits this year, and you were worried, I think, more about how the hitting was going to be, and it's actually kind of been a reverse type of story where the hitting's been really good for you guys. Caleb Powell's over 400, Dimitri Taylor's up around 350, and some other guys are swinging the bat just as well. But the guys I guess you were counting on going to the mound just aren't kind of where you want them at this point in the season.
Yeah, and you know, we had a long staff meeting this morning. The why is the big question, and we're looking at some of the things maybe, you know, being in the field house, limited time, with the pitchers where we got to spend more time with them. But, you know, as a coach, you know, we say it all the time, once you're not sharp as a pitcher or once you're not sharp as a hitter, you don't know when it's going to get sharp. You know, it's a really kind of a question that, you know, some of the guys are going through. The other thing, confidence is always part of this game. And so, you know, like I said, pitchers made a good pitch and we might not make a play. So right now, I mean, we know we're going to practice today, working on those 2 things, pitching and defense, and things are momentum-wise, and now they're really swinging in the wrong direction, and we got to get it going in the right direction, and hopefully we can turn it around for Tuesday's game. Illinois State, they're playing really well, and then we go to Murray, who's right now took 2 out of 3 from Austin Peay. So we're playing some good people, and we need to get this thing swinging in the other way.
Now, you talk about the midweek games. The way baseball a lot of times sets up for you guys is your conference series are on the weekend, and you usually have 1 or 2 midweek games during the middle of the week. Seeing as typically in a league like the OVC, it's a mid-major type league, only the tournament champion typically gets in, do you a lot of times start to use those midweek games to kind of tweak with things, see if, okay, this guy's good in a certain situation for a weekend series, or this guy's ready to try to get an opportunity to start? I'm assuming a lot of the midweek games are now become kind of experiments from a coaching standpoint.
Well, you know, be honest with you, we wish we didn't have to do that, but we have to, because there's certain areas that it's just not happening right now. And, you know, as a coach, you really struggle with sticking with a guy or making a move. You know, I was kidding with Coach Dameron the other day, the new football guy, that, you know, I think I said it maybe last week, I don't know. Football's got it made. If a guy messes up, you take him out for a few plays, you put him back in. So we take them out, and that game is over for them. So we just got to stick with some guys. They're not playing well. We brought him in here for a reason. You know, we give them that confidence, say, you're the guy, you're our catcher, you're our shortstop, you're our right fielder. That's what the meeting this morning was about. Stick with some guys. If they don't perform, then we don't win, but that's we got to get their confidence, and that's by playing them.
Now you guys go to Murray State, like you said, this weekend, another conference series on the road. Do you change a little bit on how the starting, in terms of rotation goes? I guess pitching, starting performances, or maybe where you kind of want them to be, or maybe in a different order, or are you going to look at maybe even a new guy somewhere in the mix there?
Well, I think the new guy, we don't want to do that. We want to kind of stick with what we're doing, get back to locating the fastball. I mean, every coach kind of says the same thing. If you don't stop penetration on basketball, the game's over. If you don't block, it's really, as a coach, I think we make up things along the way, but we just got to get back to locating and pounding the zone with fastballs. We're getting behind the counts, and then when you do that, you get bad swings and you get the easy ground balls. So we're going to stick with the guys. They came out of the chute looking really good, and we're in a little bit of a lull. So we'll stick with the guys that we've been sticking with, and that'll hopefully get us going.
All right, the other thing that's on tap from this show airs when we do the show next week is you guys will have the annual game over in Mattoon where you play Illinois over at Peterson Park. That's a week. It'll be on Tuesday after this show airs on Wednesday. Some years we've gotten it in with good weather, some years gotten in with bad weather, some years the rain has won the battle there and gotten the decision in that. But it's turned into be a pretty good event the last couple of years since you guys have put it on over there.
It really has. It's the town, Mattoon really gets behind it. The rec and Little League kids come out to play. I think we've had in the neighborhood of 1,200 people at the game. It's just a chance for our guys to play in a setting that's fun. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there's not a lot of people there. This last weekend we had a great crowd on Sunday, so it was good weather. But bringing a team like Illinois in gets everybody excited. So we've played really well over there and excited to go back to Mattoon.
All right, Coach, a reminder that everybody will be able to see that. That'll be the game that will be in the area for people to be able to see next week. Tuesday night over at Peterson Park, 6 o'clock or 6:30. And 6 o'clock will be the first pitch over there. Hopefully the weather will help out and be a nice day. They're going to have a couple other cookouts and other things surrounding that. Coach, good luck there on the weekend back in the OVC. I know you guys are trying to get back on the positive side and turn things around. A lot of baseball still left to be played. We'll be right back with This Week in EIU Athletics.
Panther fans, here's what's going on in Panther athletics. Baseball now 7-20 overall and 2-7 in OVC play. As they had 4 games at Coach's Stadium this past week, they won against St. Louis 9-7 and then got swept by OVC rival Jacksonville State. On Tuesday night, the Panthers were at Illinois State. For the result and stats of that game, check out EIUPanthers.com. Softball now 23-10 overall and 4-3 in OVC play. They went 3-1 this past week. They won their home opener over Valparaiso 3-0 and won 2 out of 3 games at OVC rival Murray State. Track competed in their first outdoor meet of the season. They were in Carbondale, Illinois for the Southern Illinois Invite. The Panthers posted 6 first-place finishes as the men placed 3rd overall and the women placed 4th. Men's tennis now 6-7 overall and 3-3 in OVC play. They went 1-1 this past week in OVC road matches at Austin Peay and Murray State, with the win coming against Murray State. Women's tennis also split their 2 matches this past week in OVC play. They won at Austin Peay 5-2. They're now 8-3 overall and 2-3 in OVC play. Women's golf wrapped up competition at the Western Kentucky Invite on Tuesday. For the results of that tournament for the Panthers, check out EIUPanthers.com. And men's soccer hosted a spring match against Illinois Springfield at Lakeside Field. Now here's what to watch for this week. On Thursday, track begins a 3-day run of hosting the Big Blue Classic at O'Brien Field, with competition starting at 10 o'clock in the morning. Also in morning action at 11 o'clock, men's and women's tennis host OVC rival SIU Edwardsville at the Charleston High School tennis courts. On Friday, track with day 2 of the Big Blue Classic at O'Brien Field, with competition starting at 10 in the morning. And baseball begins a 3-game series at OVC rival Murray State, with Game 1 slated to start at 3 o'clock. On Saturday, track with day 3 of the Big Blue Classic at O'Brien Field, with competition starting at 10 in the morning. Women's tennis takes on OVC rival UT Martin at 11 in the morning over at the Charleston High School tennis courts. And softball hosts OVC rival Eastern Kentucky for a doubleheader starting at 1 o'clock over at Williams Field. And baseball with Game 2 of their 3-game series at Murray State, with Game 2 of the series slated to start at 2 o'clock. On Sunday, men's golf begins a 3-day run at the Arkansas State Red Wolf Intercollegiate. Softball back at Williams Field for another doubleheader against OVC rival Morehead State, with Game 1 slated to start at 1 o'clock. Women's tennis with another OVC home match over at the Charleston High School tennis courts as they take on Southeast Missouri State at 1 o'clock. Men's soccer with a spring match over at Lakeside Field against Cincinnati at 1 o'clock. And baseball wraps up their 3-game series at Murray State at 1 o'clock. On Monday, men's golf with day 2 at the Arkansas State Red Wolf Intercollegiate. On Tuesday, men's golf wraps up their play at the Arkansas State Red Wolf Intercollegiate. And baseball is under the lights over at Peterson Park in Mattoon, Illinois, as they host Illinois with first pitch at 6:05. And next Wednesday, April 9th, baseball back at Coaches Stadium as they host Illinois College at 3 o'clock. And softball is in Carbondale, Illinois, as they're at Southern Illinois at 4 o'clock. For Panther Sports Talk, I'm Ramin Kabasioun. WEIU is your home for Eastern Illinois Panther sports. Panther football.
Here comes the blitz. Jimmy's going to throw it deep down the middle. Lorna's out there. Got it. And he's on his way. Garoppolo burns the blitz. Touchdown, Eastern Illinois.
Panther basketball.
All the way. Laid it up. No, another dunk. Petrowski again. Back-to-back rebound dunks.
Panther greats. WEIU is your home for Panther sports.
EIU softball is in the midst of their first season under a new head coach and a roster featuring several veteran seniors, including Mattoon native Reynae Hutchinson. Hutchinson says that these seniors, who won the OBC championship as freshmen, have had to adjust to a new coaching staff this season, but through the pre-conference schedule, they're buying in to the new style of play.
In the fall, it was rough because I could tell that some of the seniors, they were a little skeptical being a senior and having a new coach this first year. And so I was really worried about going into practice and them wanting to change, but I think since I've been in January, I think everyone has, like Coach said, everyone's bought into their system. They believe in what, everyone believes in what both coaches are telling us, and we've made some big changes that I think are gonna definitely help us come postseason and throughout the regular season also.
Since I've gotten here, I feel like they, you can see it, and the thing is, like I said, with them buying into what we're doing and them seeing the results, and we've already stolen more bases than they did all of last year. We're hitting the ball harder than they've ever hit the ball. We're doing things that they haven't seen before, and for them, I think that gives them that assurance that, hey, you know what? We are better than we've ever been. And so I think they're ready to go. It's been an amazing journey, and they're doing everything that I've asked, and we have gotten better, and we've grown, and we've learned from our experiences, and that's exactly what I've preached since I got here. And they are completely 100% into our philosophy, and they see the results. And when I look in these kids' eyes, there's no denying that they don't want it more than anything. It's a great feeling.
In addition to playing softball, Hutchinson has also spent the last 4 seasons as a starting outside hitter for EIU volleyball. And she says she's thankful for the opportunity to have been a 2-sport college athlete.
It's definitely, first of all, taking a toll on my body. I can definitely tell on these cold mornings, waking up and getting out of bed, I hear a little pop, little creak here and there. But I don't think I can say enough how many friends I've made, how much the coaches that I've played for, and the players that I've played with, how much an impact they've made on my life. And I think there's a few other life lessons, but I think that's the biggest thing, just the friendships that I made and the things that I've learned playing 2 sports has taught me a lot.
I came in the fall and I heard about Reynae, and I heard about this kid that plays 2 sports, and watched her obviously play volleyball and was amazed at just how athletic she was on the volleyball court. And they told me, she's a good leader and things like that. Kept asking about her softball skills, and they, yeah, she's all right. And so I'm thinking, okay. They're like, don't get your hopes up. She's not going to be everything you're thinking or you're wanting. And I will tell you what, I think she is everything that I have wanted. And she has really, in my eyes, been amazing to work with. From the day she stepped, in January into our practice, she has been so coachable. Probably the most coachable kid that I've ever come across. She can make an adjustment like that. She knows her body very well. And so I think she has not even tapped into her full potential, and that's what's been amazing. And I think she's shocking a lot of people because they didn't even know Reynae was this good.
So far, it's definitely a lot more than what I expected. I think the biggest change that I noticed from the last 3 years is I'm able to show off how athletic I am a lot more. I mean, when Coach Schutte was here, I had a pinch runner when I would get on base, and so 7 stolen bases for me in the first 25, 27 games. I don't know that I had 7 stolen bases at all last year. So, no, I think I'm definitely more confident in myself, and I think the team can speak for when they say that they are confident in themselves as well as the other players around them, just because of the changes that we've made.
You know, she could go anywhere, to be honest with you, from 3 to 6. She does a lot of things well. You know, she hits for power. She sees the ball well. She can do a bunt and run. She can do a squeeze. She can, you know, lay down the sacrifice bunt. She can do a hit and run. And that's what you need from 3 to 5. You know, you need that. You need the person who's going to do whatever you ask them to do, and she can do that. And then on top of that, the speed that, you know, nobody told me she had has been amazing, because I love speed. So I just love having her. I mean, it's been amazing for her to be in that spot and to be able to do anything I ask her to do.
With Hutchinson's success in both volleyball and softball throughout her collegiate career, she says when she's done at EIU, she wants to be remembered as much for her contributions off the field as for those she's made on it.
I just hope that people remember me personally as a good leader, as a good role model. I mean, it will be nice if they can remember as to how well that I played and stuff like that, but I'm not here to I'm not here to just to play softball or just to play volleyball. I'm here to get an education and learn and grow as a person, so I hope that's how they can remember me.
She totally leads by example. I mean, everything she does, you cannot, as a player, you cannot question anything, because she's doing what she's asking you to do. So you can't say, well, you don't do it. Everything is by example. She is a great kid in and out of the classroom. She works her tail off, and she just does everything. She's a perfect role model in every single way, and you know, everything about it's positive. Nothing's negative. And when you look at her, it just puts a smile on your face, and you want to do everything she's asking you to do.
I cannot explain how fast it has gone. You know, I got here as a freshman, and talking to the seniors on the volleyball team, they're all, oh, it goes by so fast. It's like just like that, like it went by like lightning. And I, as freshmen, I'm like, it's 4 years, not a big deal. 4 years is 4 years. But when volleyball season ended, I was like, that was 4 years. And so I think at the end of the softball season, I'm going to be even more shocked, because that's another 4 years of softball that's gone by. And I honestly can't believe how fast it went. It was 4 years, but it doesn't seem like 4 years.
Reporting for Panther Sports Talk, I'm Brad Kupiak.
Now there's the Panthers, number 15, Caleb Howell.
EIU Baseball is getting into the swing of their OVC schedule after a tough non-conference slate against several top 25 teams. And leading them offensively has been junior outfielder Caleb Howell.
He's practiced, it's the same. You know, when he struggles, it might be, you know, 4 for 10 for the weekend and not 6. So he knows what he tries to do. He doesn't try to do too much, and that's what makes him good.
I mean, it really depends on the count, but my approach is hit the ball away, turn the ball in, get on base as much as possible, because I feel like that's one of the most important stats in baseball is on base percentage. Batting third, for me, it's a little bit different from last year, batting leadoff and freshman year. But I think I've gotten used to it. I batted third a little bit in high school, but overall, I think, and being an upperclassman, I need to step up in that role and do my best at it. I think I'm a leader. I'm not as much of a vocal leader as some of the guys, but I try to lead by example and to work hard and show everybody that working hard can get you places.
Howell has been starting in the outfield since day one and currently sits second on EIU's active roster in games played behind senior catcher Jacob Reese. And Coach Schmitz says he knew Howell could come in and contribute right away.
Well, believe it or not, his grandfather wrote us a handwritten letter, and that's a true story. So we followed up on it with some leads over in the Springfield, Jacksonville area, and there it is. So, pretty simple story.
When I visited here, I really like the campus. I like the atmosphere, you know. But mainly, Coach said he'd give me the opportunity to play right away, and I think that's mainly what brought me here.
It's very rare. I mean, he came in ready to play. Consistent is the word that I think you could use best with him. And I mean, from day one, the tournament 2 years ago as a freshman, went to center field when Reynae got hurt. So knowing he's back, knowing he's going to bat in the whatever lineup order, you really know what you're going to get. You're never disappointed in any weekend with him. So consistency, which is what you wish you would get from everybody, but he really brings that to the EIU baseball program.
I mean, that was my goal to begin with. So it's not that I expected it, but I expected it of myself. But I set that goal for myself the fall of my freshman year and succeeded.
Schmitz says that even with a player as talented as Howell, there are always things that can be improved on.
I would say this, I haven't. I mean, we've tried to really get him to steal a little more. He's a great runner, and maybe that's one part of the game this year we thought we could do a little better. Had some nagging knee injuries in the fall, so he wasn't able to participate in fall ball. So we really hope as we get home and the weather gets a little better that we're able to run him a little more. So, you know, he's been a hit machine for us. He gets on base, he scores runs. Now we're asking him to steal a little more and knock in runs, and right now he's doing a great job.
Well, for me was, I mean, defensively to improve. It's not that I struggled, but I feel like I could do a lot better in the outfield. I feel like I have gotten better from my previous 2 years, but and my other goal is to continue to hit well at the plate. Yeah, that's another thing I wanted to improve on was stealing bases. For me, I mean, last couple years I had injuries, but yeah, stealing bases, I think I need to work more on that. I need to get better jumps on the base paths and get better leads.
I think it is the base stealing, you know, to be that guy, to use that speed in a kind of aggressive way, to really, because to play at the next level, he's going to have to do that. You know, he's going to be a guy that gets on base, well, you're going to have to steal. So, you know, like I said, he's had some nagging leg injuries that's limited that, but we think that's where he's going to really break out here.
Facing good competition, I mean, that gets us ready for conference, and it gets the team ready for the rest of the season. I think just staying focused, staying with the same approach, not changing anything. But I think overall as a team, we just need to finish games and compete defensively. Playing away for so long, I mean, it's nice to go down south in warmer weather, but it's nice to be back at home. But I think we need to work on, I think we just need to work on our approaches at the plate. I think they're getting better, and defensively, we just need to finish games.
Reporting for Panther Sports Talk, I'm Brad Kupiak.
Production for Panther Sports Talk is brought to you in part by Johnson's Automotive Service is a proud supporter of Panther Sports on WEIU. Johnson's is a complete car facility for all your automotive repair and maintenance needs. Johnson's Automotive Service, keeping your life running.